What Vols are going to have fantastic seasons in the NFL, and who do you most want to root for? The season starts tonight on the Thursday night game, and I don't know about you, but I'm more than ready for it. Several Vols we want to talk about, but it is officially football time to me when the NFL kicks in as well. Of course, we do more college, but when it's all there, that's pretty exciting. So we get rolling tonight. So we'll get to several of those teams. But how you feeling? You excited? You ready? You good to go there, Caleb?
Y'all ready for Ryan Tannehill winning MVP this year, guys?
Right, Tannehill. What about your guy from Kentucky?
We don't have to mention him, Dave. We don't really have to say anything.
I've got my coffee. I can put some mayo in it. How about that?
I have half. Okay, a part of me believes that the Titans, because just to stick it to all the Vol fans in Nashville, I feel like they stupidly drafted Will Levis. Looking back, I think they were annoyed at Vol fans being so anti-Will Levis. They wanted to make a point that we don't make decisions based on what the Vols want. I've seen pro teams do that to like slight the college team in the same market. So yeah.
And Tom telling me he doesn't watch the NFL anymore. I don't know anyone. I think a lot of people watch the NFL, but you should at least keep up with your former Vols. I would argue that. So let's get it going. Coop, what should people do? As Four Downs is brought to you by AndyMasonRealEstate.com. AndyMasonRealEstate.com, over 4 decades combined experience in East Tennessee. Best prices, best service in the Knoxville area. Let's get it going. What should people do, Coop?
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
All right, hit like and subscribe now, and give me your thoughts on the following questions. We want you to be involved with the message board. You can also reach out to us via Twitter, as we're live 10 a.m. each and every weekday. Here we go.
Coop here. First down.
All right, so first down right off the top. Who do you think's the fan favorite right now among active players in the NFL? Former Vols. And let me get your thoughts on the message board. Who is the fan fave right now? I'm going to go first. I think it's Joshua Dobbs, and I think it's clear cut.
Okay, I can get with Dobbs. I think both quarterbacks in the NFL, Dobbs and Hendon Hooker, are fan favorites. But I think the actual fan favorite is the Super Bowl champion, Trey Smith. Best story in Tennessee, you know. And I love Trey Smith, the person. I was mad when my Titans didn't draft him, and that's not just because I cover the Vols. I'm not one of those guys like, oh my God, you should draft a player from the team that I cover or the team that I root for. You know how, Dave, you know how fans do
Only
that, right?
16 minutes deep, Peyton Manning deep, and we've got British voice.
That's not a British voice. That's a dumb fan voice. Okay. Being from Memphis, Grizzly fans in the NBA, they want to draft former Memphis Tigers all the time. And I'm like, guys, that's a terrible idea. I feel like a lot of Titans fans are that way too. They're like, we should draft this Vol or this. Like, they would just have an all Vol team in the NFL. In all
fairness, I thought the Titans did that for marketing with guys like Joey Kent. But anyway, so you think Trey Smith is a fan fave? Okay, I can roll with that. It's probably Hendon Hooker now that you said it, but goodness gracious, Joshua Dobbs put up with a lot of trash, and you pointed out before that Tennessee's not even relevant if he doesn't play at such a high level. And man, everybody is saying Trey on the message board. We got a Dobbs in there as well. What down now, Coop?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
Okay. Best Vol in the NFL. That was Trey Smith for me. I don't know that there's any other direction to go. The best Tennessee player playing right now in the NFL is Trey Smith, right? If you could take one guy and put him on your favorite NFL team, it's Trey, right?
Well, for disrespecting him, Alvin Kamara would like to take you into a Las Vegas elevator. Okay, sorry.
Okay,
I still think it's Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I wonder also with running backs how long the shelf life is. And I don't think he helped himself with the off-field incident either in the elevator. We're gonna take the high floor, high road, and
what is it with running backs and elevators? Casino elevators. I'm sorry, but running backs.
Well, you're more comfortable running in space, so you feel very confined. What down is it, Coop?
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
Okay, compared to last year, so you can pick rookies in here because they would have an impact. Who will have the best season this year compared to last? I'm going to give you two. Dobbs, because I read an interesting thing about the Cardinals that if they play Kyler Murray and he gets hurt again, they're on the hook for like another $50 million. So the reason they went out and got Dobbs is because I think he's going to start the entire season. So I think he goes from a guy who started at the end of the season because the Titans had to have him to a guy who will start the entire season. That in and of itself is a major leap forward. The other one, though, is Jalin Hyatt. I've been following a lot of his coverage out of New York. Their quarterback, who's Daniel, help me.
Daniel Jones. He's a good quarterback.
Daniel Jones. For some reason, I have a mind block with his name. But Daniel Jones requested that he sit right next to him. And in the locker room, they have lockers next to each other. I think that 40 time at the combine was hampered by a hamstring. I think that Jalin Hyatt might be a really savvy pick. We are not going to talk fantasy football, but might be a savvy pick. I think he has a really big year. So those are my two. Who has the best season this year compared to last year for you?
Okay, so I'm going to go, because he had a season-ending injury and he's back this year, I'm going to go Emmanuel Moseley with the 49ers. That's one of the – he took Richard Sherman's starting job. That's one of the great stories. Another one of the players that was totally misused under Butch Jones that became a starter in the NFL. My other one is, I love your Jalin Hyatt pick, but just to be different, I'm going to go Darnell Wright. I'm so high on Darnell Wright. And regardless of how little I think of Justin Fields as a quarterback, and I think very little of Justin Fields as a quarterback, I think you still will notice Darnell Wright playing well up on the front.
Ooh, yeah. And if you get a guy that starts 17 games off the bat and it grades out fairly well, that's really, really good. So that's a very good pick. I like that. And lastly, I'm going to change it up. We had our 3:45 production meeting this AM, but we were going to go one direction. But I'm going to change it up a little bit. What down, Coop?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
Hendon Hooker will. Oh, was that second?
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
All right. It was a penalty. We got that down back. So Hendon Hooker has no impact, some impact, a big impact for the Detroit Lions this season.
I say no impact. I am very, very, very high on Hendon Hooker long term, but I think Hendon Hooker has got to spend a full year learning the offense. I mean, look, the fact is Josh Heupel's system doesn't fully prepare you for the NFL. So he's kind of in an Aaron Rodgers situation with Green Bay, whereas Jeff Tedford helped raise Aaron Rodgers' profile, but didn't develop him for the NFL. So he had to sit for a year and actually learn how to play quarterback at the NFL level. I think the same thing is going to have to happen with Hendon Hooker. So I'm going to say no impact this year, but starting next year.
I'm going to say he has an impact. You know, I hated that pick for Hendon when it happened, but I have looked into the Lions more. You said at the time they're better than you think. They're not the old Lions. I was like, Caleb, whatever. And, pardon me, but I'm on board now. And I think Jared Goff, being a guy who's watched football for 25 years or more, 40 years, whatever, I think that he is I think Jared Goff's terrible. I mean, I really do. And I think Hendon Hooker is a part of their future, and he could be a factor this year. I really do. So
I think if Jared Goff is terrible, though, they're just going to choose to be awful this year and get another high draft pick and have Hendon Hooker ready to go next year.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so here we go. We're going to add, if Elias said it, we need a fifth down. We do. So
Colorado fifth down.
Yeah, what do you expect out of Dobbs?
But we need to get, because for those who don't know, yes, Josh Dobbs was named the starter for Arizona's week 1. Got to give, and I just first off want to say a massive congratulations to him. He's deserved, a guy who's been a long-term backup, but has always been a hard worker and has always been just really a guy you want on your team. Am I right, Dave? And I thought got an unfair shake, similar to Casey Clausen in the early 2000s, got a bit of an unfair shake with Tennessee in the mid-2010s, and I think his stock has risen since we've seen how bad his coaching was. All that being said, I don't expect a playoff appearance or that much success from Josh Dobbs starting this year. I think he maintains his starting job throughout the year, though. I'm with you on that. But much as I love Josh Dobbs, he just doesn't have a good arm. He's got a very weak arm, honestly.
Yeah, There's some truth to that. I think he's a classic guy who's absolutely maximized his ability, and that's very respectable. But respectable doesn't mean you necessarily get into the NFL and win Super Bowls. Ability is a big part of it.